and we'll talk about some of those issues. So the first one I want us to notice here is this. One of the things that kept Paul from giving up and kept him keeping on was the awareness that God was with him. And I think in the second Corinthian letter and the 11th chapter, this is a very challenging chapter to me when I think about what Paul went through, what he suffered, and yet he never gave up no matter what he experienced in life. So if you look at that 11th chapter for a moment, this is a familiar chapter to most Christians, but a lot of people who hear this will not be. But Paul says, for example, he was arguing and they were criticizing him for who he was, and he said in verse 22, "Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they descendants of Abraham? So am I." Then he says, "Are they servants of Christ? I speak as if insane. I more, in far more labors, in far more imprisonments, beaten times, listen, without number, often in danger of death. 5 times I received from the Jews 39 lashes. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. A night and day I have spent in the deep. I've been on frequent journeys in dangers from rivers, dangers from robbers, dangers from countrymen, dangers from the Gentiles, dangers in the city, dangers in the wilderness, dangers on the sea, dangers from among false brethren. I've been in labor and hardship through many sleepless nights in hunger and thirst, often without food and cold and exposure. Apart from such external things, there is the daily pressure on me of concern for all the churches." If you and I had been what he'd been through, I wonder how many of us would have survived that. And so what is it that made it possible for him to survive that? Now he had a lot of reasons to give up and quit, but he did not. Why? Because of his awareness that Almighty God was with him. And when I think about the things so many things that the Apostle Paul said about God's presence with him, he said, for example, in Acts 23, he was going through a difficult time.